Chị nghe. Nói thứ hai hết kịp.
Nói sao? Nói sao? Không, bây giờ mình đâu có ăn tàu đâu. Làm tiếng Việt có ai đấy.
Chị nghe, nhà ơi, cái quạt đi đi xuống Westman đấy. Lấy cái số mấy ạ? Nha, giống nhau thì em đi giao em có xem hả?
Lamandam Gumbo Jamba Yamba Janzo Yambo Gangir Gandre Jinyen Jindra Nindra Nanda Rasa Jinyen Dengen Jijen Zikirin Yijin Dubra Banze Ganda Zifi Gandor Mare Mendum Dumai Jizre Razo Kanla Kuchi Tazi Yenlai Tuju Yandin Zon Dudai Jidu Nyemoy Nyeno Deji Chadon Duze Jen Mare Manze Domai Nyego Jinye Tuze Raje Nam Dene Tajin Saje Tajin Yenden Bezo Jaze Tube Chara Chutan Chanyen Jende Nalem Benze Jende Kumara Bhajanande, Mara Bhajanande, Mara Bhajanande, Mara Bhajanande, Zeden, Jiji, Chero, Zenji, Dale, Timon, Baraza, Ishonde, Bobe, Nawa, Zandu, Jiji, Mori, Jibori, Janda, Majiba. Follow Ginger Ginger Vision Ginger Jimon Walla, Zunga Bajim, and Jazza Ginger, Johan and Sarakam to Gingers and Bands and Vision on Visas and then Norash and Sebes and Lumber and begin the Sigil. Ujidama Benezer and Jidens J. Conjabe and the Beja Vendering and the Jerry, number on Jim, and so the Jim and Jumari. Pemanjandale Inzurjo Zengara Shirezan, Pemangara Jibani Juma, Susan Jazaso, Kaderlama Nanjenda Ejo, Mongoloja and Devanda, Domini, Jolon Jijinda, Jijin, Boswan, Zanin Jona Jenda Ejo, Ardever, Jimmy Begula, and Dega Joga, Shazurdo, Impedance, and Bebina Jerba, Chime Vezirja Jenda Ejo. Bombelone, Bobet, Jedro, Chinzijams, Monju, Nivonjambe, and Jenda Ejo, the Jeshes of Jaran, Gujin, Jigala, Mendana, Walden Lami, Janda Ejo, and the Sanjay, Danyamaya, Kaden Sanjay, never be Jarazwande, Azondo, Lama, Jela, Sembra Devan Dandri Jeje, Namayan Damba, like Namu Damji, Megananda, Walking Jetan on Jizamba, some Jake, those who Manjana Gita, Danyam, Sinjan Tamje, Namdu Tinideva, Lanami, Yanda, Sanjay, Warren Bridge. Chine Yankavasha, Dejedo, Kevachin, Chandusin, Chabalan, Nitsushi, Sene, Yamzula, Yo, and Sambas, which was a good development of the sense holidays. So, in order to have right intentions before we start engaging into these positive actions, generate the awakened mind within oneself in this way, starting from one dearest and looking all the beings as the same as you are dearest. And in order to pay kind back to them, the best is to lead them to complete enlightenment. So that purpose, I'm going to listening this Mahayana Sutra, way of Bodhisattva's life, and whatever I understand, I'm going to try my best to put into practice. So this kind of intention, listen this teaching. So teaching itself, we are almost completing, that Shantideva is almost completing talking about the benefit of having Bodhicitta within oneself. So far, this way of Bodhisattva's life has some 4 main themes within this 10 chapter. And we are in the first theme, which is to why we have to generate Bodhicitta and how we could generate Bodhicitta. And this is the main theme of the first theme among the 4, so which is described, explained by first 3 chapters. And right now we are in first chapter, which is talking about why it is good to have Bodhicitta within oneself. So he is talking about all the benefit of having this Bodhicitta. Us with the evidence of history, with the evidence of experienced person's advice, and with the evidence of letting us use our own common sense to understand the value of Bodhicitta. And normally, I'm telling to all of my friends, as long as all of these 3 things supporting each other or matching each other, then we could judge it is right or wrong. If any of one is not matching or not supporting, then it could not 100% correct. And that's how judge means, it does not mean you judge for others, judge for oneself. So when I want to judge that whether this is good to have within myself or not, then I will look, okay, how in a historical it proves, and how in an advisory it proves, and how in a logic way or the common sense way it can prove. So Shantideva almost taught all of this to us until this stanza number 27. That 27, this stanza, that is the stanza he is trying to prove the benefit of application Bodhicitta through using common sense, through the logic. And that we can understand by understanding that how he already proved the aspiration Bodhicitta through common sense. Then this is not so big, different idea to understand its value. So therefore, he, in one way that we can use that same idea to understand this application Bodhicitta's value. But Shantideva himself, the particular he is using here, just having a tiny benefit willing of benefiting other is considering as a much more bigger merit than the offering to the Buddha. Then the person who not just having a kind for the tiny kind, the person who is having this great kind for all living beings, and not just that, also he or she willing to, with the diligently, wanna do it for others. Then that value of that actions, and Shantideva was saying, it goes without saying. This is how is kind of like letting us use our common sense to understand its worth. And then now this stanza number 28, that Dungal Donde Semi Dungal Gila Mumber, they were doing Timu Rangi, they were rather joms. And these three stanza goes together, I think it's better. Kanshik Deve Pombada, Dungal Manden Dedala, Deva Kunji Tsimbada, Dungal Kamji Chushichi. Imukyam Selcheba, Dedam Gisum Kalayu, and Jishijam Kalayu, Sunam Tenjam Kalayu. So within this three stanza, now again he is letting us use some common sense to understand its value again, the application of its value. That how he is using here this, then here it translated into this stanza number 28, 9 and 30. For being long to free themselves from misery, but misery itself they follow and pursue. They long for joy, but in their ignorance destroy it as they would their foe. As they would their foe. Foe is like enemy, right? So enemy. How we are kind of like destroying, trying to get rid of disturbance or enemies. So this stanza, it is now really introducing how normal people in general, particularly those normal people who doesn't know how to deal, who don't have a right guidance, and they will definitely do this. Generally, normal people, particularly those who don't know how to deal with the situation, plus who doesn't have a right guidance, then they will gonna do this 100%. Here, Shantideva is introducing how normal people in general, and particularly those type of persons, how they, engaging their action into willing, and in order to achieve that willing, what they're doing, it's contradicting. This is what he's saying. That's many people do, normal people do. And as I said earlier, particularly who doesn't have a right idea and right guidance, they will definitely do this. Just as an example here given, the flies, how they themselves going to the flame. They themselves going to the flame. Flame is not coming to them. They themselves going to the flame and die. But they're going to the flame because they're seeking some happy from there. But what really they're doing is contradicting with what they willing, what they're seeking, and what they're doing. Action is contradicting. And they're really the source of happy, they're destroying themselves. Which is here an example. Again, we can use this same example. That flies, if he just stay away, it is happy, itself is happy. But he's not staying there, he's going to the flame. That means he's destroying the stay away from flame. Stay away from flame itself is happy actually. But he is not understanding that is happy, so he is destroying the stay away from flame and going to the flame. That's how normal people in general, and particularly as I said, those type of person, they do that. We do that. So after we understanding these things, and we have to be aware. And also we can use here this analogy that what Shantideva is trying to giving is within ourselves here. It's still here. Shakyamuni Buddha tried to explain this so hardly to many beings, and those great masters like Shantideva is also still trying to explain this. They are saying the source of happy is bodhicitta, but towards what we are chasing is the opposite, self-centered. We still like to have self-centered. No. Altruism, no. You see, that is how we're doing it. They're explaining it, but still we are not living it. Which means we are destroying our own happiness. We are just going like a fly going to the flame. That we still want to chase self-centered attitude. We still think that is deserved, that is right. They're explaining so long and we are not satisfied in it. Still we wanna think that self-centered attitude is no problem. We still want to keep that. So this is again another one example that we can just understand what this 128 stanza means, that how we're doing it here. We're listening this Bodhisattva's way of life, and while we're listening, we might feel, when we talk about its benefit, or maybe it's good to have it. But after you finish, then you're going back to normal. Back to normal. Spending all times, doing all action for oneself. More or less. Which is exactly now. We are, isn't it, like a we understand logically a little bit how self-centered attitude creates all problems. But still, we want to chase self-centered attitude. Which is like, you want to destroy your suffering, but you are chasing after its cause. Just like here it is translated there. For being longs to free themselves from misery, but misery itself they follow and pursue. This is one example. But in our deep insight, we need that sense We need that sense that, how to say, following, what do you call it? Following and pursuing self-centered attitude is something we are following the cause of misery. We need that deep inside our mind, bottom in the mind. It's very necessary. Even right now, we are not being able to apply, but we need that in our deep down. Likewise, the concerns about sense of concern about well-beings. We need to have that deep down inside, that this is the, what do you call it? I shouldn't destroy it by my ignorance, telling oneself and getting doubt on it and getting suspicious on it. Actually, Shantideva here, providing after all this proof, evidence, he might hoping, I'm also hoping, that now might we don't have that suspicious anymore. That's how we need to put that seed deep down inside our mind, even though right now we are not being able to apply. But it is very important to put deep down inside that confidence. So build it from there. And this is like just putting a seed in the ground, and it will gonna grow. It won't grow within 1 week, within 1 month, within 1 year. Even expecting that is not something right. But we need to maintain that seed. We need to take care of that seed. Put the water on time to time, occasionally, and let have a sunshine time to time. And this is what we're doing here. All this practice is the kind of like a pouring water time to time, and letting it have a sunshine time to time, and putting all those, what do you call it, which is made by those dirty things. What do you call that? Fertilizer. I don't want to use the shit here. Actually, it is made by that, right? More or less, those animals shit, gather everything, and it becomes fertilized, right? The fertilizer
is doom. D-U-N-G.
Doom.
Nice word for S-H-I-T.
We want to cover everything here. In this Western country, everything has to cover. They make nice. Doom. Okay, doom. That the here in this our center, we're doing it actually time to time. We're practicing. This is how we are pouring water occasionally. This is how we are kind of like giving to that seed the sunshine, and this is how we are providing the fertilizer. That's why our Lord Holiness always practice. Practice. He let us practice more than listening, teaching. Big mouth. You know how to answer everything. You know how to think everything. But yet, that seed is rowing. Rowing. Seed is rowing. Seed is getting raw. Rotten, not raw, rotten. Seed is getting rotten. Rotten and rotten and rotten. So we have to make sure that seed is not get rotten. Which means we have to maintain the seed with the providing water, light, and fertilizer or the dome.
Fertilizer is made by Vietnamese, so they don't want to name their son Dong after they come to Canada. In our class, in our temple, we have a Dong.
No, don't explain that. Later. She liked to explain everything. Don't let her. If we let her, then she will go continue. This is not the right time for you to explain this. Okay, so now do you understand how we normal people, and particularly those type of persons, they're doing this meaning of this stanza number 28. Right? And likewise, let's say very rough example, very rough, that if somebody offering you free marijuana, free alcohol, then you are going to take it, right? Because it makes happy. It makes happy.
Disaster.
Yeah, that's your understanding is a little further now, not your little, not normal. You're not that type of person who I want to talk here. then I appreciate it. And good. So yes, that's how we have to come out. We have to come out from normal. Because we want to achieve enlightenment.
Mm-hmm.
How we can achieve enlightenment being in a normal?
Ordinary. You mean ordinary?
No, ordinary. Normal. Ordinary. Yeah, ordinary. Ordinary is better word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, since we are enlightened, seems that we are abnormal.
Abnormal. Abnormal is strange. Again.
Yeah, weird.
Weird. Not good. Okay. So we don't want to be not good. Right? So therefore we don't want to be abnormal. Anyway, so you got it what it means, right?
Extraordinary.
Extraordinary. Okay, let's say extraordinary. So no, Shantideva here now this introducing how the normal those type of persons they act. They act always opposite what they will, what they willing, what they wish, and what they act. Forget that fulfill that wish is total contradictory. That's why never satisfaction. Never satisfaction. And just like we say, normally we think, and normal people, okay, normal people way of thinking is Jandul Nyen Chong Chong Sonam, considering as a source of happy. What I'm saying here, Jandul Nyen Chong Chong Sonam is considering as a cause of happy. Right? I'm speaking English, Jandul Nyen Chong Chong Sonam. I'm just teasing. Okay, the normal, every family, every normal beings, those type of beings. Now imagine back to those normal in general, particularly those type of persons who doesn't have a right guidance, who doesn't have a right idea to how to deal with it. And those, they consider that reducing and ridding of enemy is the way to achieve happy, isn't it? We normal people think that in order me to have a not enemy, then I can be free of disturbance. Likewise, then we normal people think Yen Kyong means that I have to support all my relatives very well, then I can get happy. And normal people think that I have to protect, I have to support my relatives, my husband, I have to protect my husband, I have to protect my child, baby. When I say general, then you're getting lost. So if I go specifically, then you're understanding, right? This is what we're thinking. I have to support my husband. I have to protect my husband. I have to support my child. And I have to protect my nephews, brothers, sisters, relatives. Then I can. This is the way to get happy. Seeking happy, therefore we are trying to protect our husband, support our husband. Purpose is to happy, isn't it? And then Chong. Chong means business. We're doing business because we hope that it makes me happy. And then Sonam. Sonam means that the normal people, in order to survive, either they make money, either they make whatever they needed, wealth, through business or farmer. These are the two main resources of our wealth, isn't it? Here, these are very growth and general business. And there's a lot of number of different types of business. Everything contains in this one word, business. Here they make very short. And then farming. You can farm, you can grow potato, you can grow rice, you can grow. This is all because you want to gain wealth. You want to earn wealth. Why you are trying to gain and earn wealth? Because you think that provides you happy. The main purpose coming down is happy.
How about survival? Survival.
How
can we survive?
Yeah, without that, how we can survive?
Yeah.
But people are not only working, only doing this for survive. No, they're also doing this for happy.
Yeah.
The main focus goal is to happy. They are not just doing for survive. If they are just doing for survive, it is little better than the chasing after happy. So you might not, increase your greed. But that's the not case.
And also,
Many people want happy, therefore they raise their greed after they got certain amount. Let's say from business, when you able to earn 5,000, actually you don't need 5,000 for your survive. No, you don't need it.
we do. How about pay the mortgage?
Okay, let's put this example. 5,000 a month. You don't need it. 5,000 a month for your survive.
How much is the mortgage?
Mortgage, you don't have to pay 5,000. Excuse me. Who paying 5,000 mortgage? I'm not paying this for this house 5,000. If 5,000 is not good enough for you, let's raise 10,000. Let's say you're making 10,000 a month. Let's say now that's good for you. Okay.
5,000 is already good, actually.
Okay, 5,000 you can survive.
Yeah.
Okay, let's say now you're earning 10,000.
Mhm. Okay.
When you start earning 10,000, and you will change all your way, and now you want to increase that 10,000 to 11.
Now it's
That greed is increasing. Greed is going more and more.
we have to balance work and life.
Yes, that's why I'm saying, if somebody just doing that for their own just to survive, it is not bad. But many people, they don't do that. They're doing this, they're making all this wealth for their happy. And happy doesn't have a limit. That's the problem. And then from there, greed is growing. And continue, greed is growing more and more. And then they never stop. And when that greed is growth, actually they are not getting to do a business to bring it happy. The fact they are not really happy. They worry that always in a worry that I may not be able to make 15,000 next month. They worried from now for the next month. They worried from now to the next year, for the next year. They worried from now for the retirement.
That's the most important thing. They are not worried about from now to their next life. That's the biggest mistake.
Yeah. But they forget to worry about their next life.
Yeah, that's the most important thing that they forget.
This is all important actually. Yes, that is most important because. But however, here the point is, the four people do to achieve happy. That tamed enemy, get rid of enemy from our own side, and then protect the family. In short, protect the family. Let's say, don't go husband, children, son. In short, make it like relatives, family and relatives. They think it makes you happy, but in fact, training enemy is not the right method to get rid of enemy. If you try to get rid of enemy, instead of becoming reduced, it will become more. This is very common sense. Let's say, for example, I have problem with the dung. Okay? Then I try to get rid of them away from me. Okay? In the worst case, let's imagine I killed them to get rid of away from me. What I think is, if I killed them, and I will gonna reduce my enemy. But the fact is not that. When I kill them, whole his family becomes my enemy now. Now I increase enemy instead of reducing actually. Therefore, bullying and punishing and killing is not right method to get rid of your enemy. Weapon is not the right method for get rid of your enemy.
During World War II, Japan invaded China. We pick up the weapon to defend our country and our people. We killed so many Chinese people and raped so many Chinese women and robbed a lot of the Chinese resources. We pick up the weapon and to defend our.
Yes, yes. That's why you have still enemy.
But
That's why you have still enemy.
let me tell you something. What happened? And on this December 13th, 1937. Okay.
You see, Germany still have some hesitation in themselves, right? Still today. Why? Because they pick up.
But right now, right now we have missiles. We have advanced weapons. So Japan, they can't do that. They can't invade us. They're scared to do that. They're not.
So
what? At least
what do you wanna prove?
No, we're safe. We have the weapons. We're safe. But at that time, our weapons were so lag behind so much. They captured the capital city of
Oh no!
China.
You both these both countries stay under scary each other, isn't it? They are neighbor. They always doubt each other. They always aware each other. So that's which created weapon created that. Now you still cannot live. Both government still cannot live peaceful.
But if we don't have the weapons, they're going to invade us again.
Yes, mistake. Japan created enemy, more enemy.
Yeah, but
Japan. If in that case, Japan itself created more enemy for themselves. Yes,
what are
they think Japan. They think that will give them more wealth, more happy, more joy. But no, they didn't want it that.
because
Instead, more enemy.
Because atomic bomb.
Yeah, enemy. Yeah, they got enemy bomb whatsoever, and they created extra enemy. Then because
Pick up weapons to defend ourselves.
same way. China, if China pick up weapon, same way like Japan, you creating enemy. That's it.
But we need to defend
Yeah,
ourselves.
doesn't matter. Yes, that is we have to defend.
Yeah.
And yeah, we Tibet also defend, right?
Yeah.
So we created more enemy. Yeah, we created more enemy at the end because of the weapon. When people pick up weapon, then they kill each other so many, and that is why still today the enemy is there. Still today, and it will gonna last generation after generation. But anyway, this is very common sense. We are now getting to very politics. You don't have to worry about politics. But the fact is that this is easy to understand. If you try to get rid of your enemy by using force, 100% sure it will gonna increase more enemy. That's 100% sure. Historically, advisedly, logically. That's for sure. You're hoping that your enemy will gonna disappear, but no. Your enemy will gonna remain forever. Just like America and terrorism. How long they enemy each other? Generation after generation. Because this is the not right method to solve the problem. That's why. Doesn't matter whoever pick up the weapon and try to solve problem by force. Regardless whoever. You can't say I am Chinese, so Chinese pick up the weapon, so which is right. If you say that, it is just saying like that, This cup is clean because my father drinks. Only my father drinks in this cup. That not becomes good evidence to prove this cup is clean. Yeah, it might clean for you, not clean for everybody. It's not clean for fact. We don't have to worry about everybody. We have to worry about fact. The fact, it's not clean because your father's drinking. But for you, it is clean because your father drinking. See? Fact and biased is two things. Bias and fact is two different things. So, okay, anyway, so don't worry about that. Now we are what we really need to get from here is the point that normally normal people and particularly those type of persons, what they really wishing, their wish is to get rid of enemy. They don't want enemy, so therefore they try to kill their enemy. But killing is the not right method to get rid of their enemy. Therefore, instead of get rid of, they making more enemy. They make more enemy. Likewise, also we thinking that I have to protect my husband, I have to protect my family. And as much as you try to protect in this normal way, that much you bothering them. That much you bothering them, and that much they hate you. In fact, there's no way that through this method, utilizing this method, really you can protect your family and your friends and your this, all this. And likewise, business. These are the things the normal we think. No, as right, exactly. This is exactly Shantideva saying. This is how normal people perceive. It is okay. That's he's saying this. You think this is okay, right?
Yeah,
Exactly. He is talking accordance with your way of thinking. That he thinking. Yes, this point, this side, you are get back to the ordinary. Yes. It is like that. And understanding everything is like that. Somehow, somewhere you are good, not necessarily all the way you're good. Yes. From some point you're good. From some point you're weak. So that's like that. So, however, for normal people, which they do, actually they do that for the seeking happiness, wishing achieve happiness, but their wish and their act is contradictory. Therefore, at the end, they are not fulfilling what they really wish. And now this is what Shantideva wants to prove, that how normal people think and normal those type of person does these things. And then now from here, this 29 stanza, that but those who fill with the bliss, who cut all pain and suffering away. From those weighed down with misery. What does it mean, the first line? But those who fill with bliss.
You can't really take it on its own. You gotta read the second line too. For those who filled with joy, all beings destitute.
What is that? All beings destitute of joy.
Without
That
lack of, they don't have any
Right.
joy.
Lack of
So
joy.
you're giving joy to people who don't have it, to beings who don't have it.
Anshi dewe phomazun mal manden teda deva kunji tsimbada, and who cut all pain and suffering away from those weighed down with misery.
like those who rip happiness from the poor one, like they are poor already. That's my understanding. Like, but then you try to get
Okay, so
happiness
the-
from the people who already.
Now we need to go this along with it each together, okay? Stanza number 28 and 29, and this stanza number 30, right? And Shanti Deva, stanza number 28 wants to introduce that how normal people think and what they do, and what they wish, what they act to fulfill that wish is contradictory. Therefore, let me explain in my way here now this. Here, somebody who are lacking the happy, okay, who are lacking the happy, and who have a number of problem, okay, numerous problem, and some other persons, and trying to provide the happiness, try to provide happy and satisfy them, one thing. And then and who is trying to cut off all their pain and sorrow. And not just that, continuously goes stanza number 30, who drive away the darkness of their ignorance, which is the source of gaining happy, and which is the source of driving away the sorrow. You understand what I mean? You understand? Yeah. Now, that action, the person who is doing that action with the willing, okay? Now it is talking about application Bodhicharyavatara. You have to keep it in mind. The person who is doing this application, they are actually doing it with the diligently, with the willing. Not just willing here, right? With the willing. And by that action, that's the merit which the person can accumulate is kind of like it's saying, Dedam Gesum Kalayos. Dedam means that actions, is there any merit can compare with this merit? This is what it's saying now. Is there any merit which can compare with this action? And then, is there any greater friend than that person? And I should use the first one, virtue. Okay. There's any virtue that can compare with this action, and there's any greater friend than those type of person who is trying to provide you happy and satisfy you, who is trying to cut off all your pain and sorrow, who is not just that, and also who is trying to cutting off all its sources. And that is saying that, is there any greater friend do you have than that person, than that person's? And is there any merit equal with it? And he's kind of like a Shantideva is kind of like a one way raising questioning, and another way he's saying there's a no equal at this. Here I told you this stanza number 28, 29, 30 has to go all this supporting each other. When you read all these three stanzas together, then you will understand what she's trying to really write here. Isn't it normal, people, that but on the other hand, especially in those developed countries, and many people think they are smart enough to deal with their situation. They have that ego. Yes. One is because they have all this mundane education, high mundane education. Therefore, they have this very strong ego that they think they know everything. But in effect, here, this kind of mind which we are talking about here, either aspiration bodhicitta or the application bodhicitta, this is the very kind of like a this is the very in the past, those great persons, they are very key to make them great. This is it. This is their kind of like a secret practice, maybe we can say. But on the other hand, this is very easy too. Especially that aspiration bodhicitta is you don't have to lose anything, but you gain so many things by it. Aspiration bodhicitta is so easy, and also I remember that Our Holiness also used to tell us, just generate it. What you will gonna lose? You're not gonna lose anything. Just generate it. It's very simple. Just think. Don't say that I don't know how to think. Since you are thinking you are very smart enough to deal with the situation. Since you have this big ego that I know how to deal with it. And don't tell me that I don't know how to think this. Right? Okay, however, so here he's raising these three questions. Is there any virtues equal with this virtue? Is there any greater friend than the person who is trying to support you in that way? And there's any greater merit that which can equal with this action? Which means indirectly what he is trying to let us understand is the value of application bodhicitta. Value of application bodhicitta. Now it's completed here. He completed talk about the generally benefit of bodhicitta, and particularly one by one aspiration bodhicitta's benefit and application bodhicitta's benefit. And after you understanding all this, then it's totally up to you whether you want to generate or not. And that's exactly I told you earlier that this is the way. This is the what. If you If you think, if you're curious how they become Mahasiddha, how they become great person, how they become good, kind person, and actually they are not keeping this as a secret. It's naturally, it's secret, it's not so obvious. You can only understand when you read this instruction. When you think, thinking is invisible, right? Thinking is invisible, therefore it seems they kept it this secret. Actually, they didn't. They're providing this to everybody. And you can hear most of those great masters always talk about this. Always talk about loving kindness, compassion, bodhicitta. They are not keeping that secret. It is just become by natural its secret. It is only matters of way of your thinking. So therefore, thinking is invisible. What I mean is they are not keeping secret. And if you're really curious, what is the thing make them Mahasiddha, make them enlightened, make them liberated, or what do you call it? Make them great person. And this is it. This is the thing make them enlightened. This is the thing make them great person. This is the thing make them Mahasiddha. And which is actually for the beginner, aspiration bodhicitta is not hard. Also, it is not difficult. You don't have to tell to anybody. You can just, you don't have to say, oh, now I am raising aspiration bodhicitta. Now you be happy. You don't have to say that. You just raise yourself. Even you walking, drinking, eating, even you pooing in the toilet. No, why not? Absolutely, I'm telling this very serious. If you like to love, you love. Absolutely, it's okay. Yeah, why not? Shakyamuni Buddha himself told, right? Yesterday I told, right? He told to his friend King, even you walk, sit, stand, eat, drink, just keep memorize that. Remember that. In Sutra, he didn't say poo, but we can include here. Since it can include drink and eat, why we can include the poo time? Why not, right? It is not something impossible and it is not something difficult either. Okay, and then from here, now this is the very, that after we studying all this with the history, with the advice, with the logic, then we have to come with the one confirm with the logic. Then we have to come with the one confirm. We have to come with the one certain understanding, right? Certain understanding, firm understanding. Although, as I said earlier, although right now I'm not being able to practice all this 100%, but we have to have deep down inside, yes, this is something secret. That's how they become Mahasiddha, they became enlightened, and they become great person. And I also want to become like them. I am following their footstep. And if I really stepping their footstep, Shakyamuni Buddha's footstep, and this is what he did it himself. And you have to encourage yourself, although I'm not be able to do right now, but definitely I will gonna try my best to improve that. that kind of willing, kind of like that kind of willing, kind of like we need to have after this understanding. And this is the main purpose that we need, you listening and I'm trying to talk here. And then now from here, this is stanza number 31 to stanza number 36, all this 6 stanza talking about the specialist about the person who had Bodhicitta. And what kind of characteristic, what kind of quality. Maybe that is talking about persons now. The person who have Bodhicitta within themselves and how that person is talking about now. Therefore, it's Penta Lenden coming, but they are racing now. Macho labor, Cheba, Chandrasimba, the first stanza, that 31st stanza. What he's saying is this: if someone who returned a favor is deserving of some praise, right? Why need we speak of bodhisattvas, those who do good even unsolicited? What is that?
Unsolicited.
Huh?
Like without asking.
Unsolicited. Unsolicited. Yes. Isn't it? Here you use sense. Is it common sense? Are you getting it? How he is trying to prove that person is worthwhile, that person's kind of like a value. That we valuing those type of person, isn't it? That first 2 line person, first 2 line type of person. We valuing them, we praising them. Even if someone who returns a favor, right? Returns a favor, who is doing something good for you, but let's say, for example, this is normally we do. We tell our lawyer or whoever, thank you so much at the end. Isn't it? We're doing it. Actually, he's not doing this for free. He's getting paid by me, paid by anyone whoever wants to work him, right? But still, we appreciate his job. We appreciate his job, and we say, I don't know, maybe how many times, thank you. Check man, thank you so much, thank you so much. Right? I know that very clear that one time I went to kind of like a lawsuit problem. That lawyer is getting paid from my friend way high, but still my friend has to talk very nice to him, say thank you to him and everything. I said, okay, I'm just watching that. This is normal we do, right? This is exactly Shantideva here saying, letting us use this common sense to understand that value of that person. And then, why need we speak the bodhisattvas, right? Those who do good for you, even unsolicited, right? The lawyer may not do for you this if you unsolicited,
Uninvited.
Yeah. If you don't invite lawyer never gonna do that for you, isn't it? Likewise, here, Doa Yungse Nami another example. Doa Yungse Nami Sejoa, Ejik Sesam Jibber Chevada, Nieche, Yinche Chamar Chebaya, Kewa Cheba Yinche, Kewe Kurus. Yeah, this another example, giving another example. Say, people praise as virtuous donors, those who with contempt support, with the contempt, right? With the contempt, he or she is supporting, but with the contempt. And that support is also very limited things and limited time. That a few with the plan and ordinary food, the thing, very ordinary thing is also very limited. Just let's say one full stomach of food, right? Food is very limited, and the time is also like a moment's gift that fits for only half a day. Time is also very short, but still we very appreciate to those donors, isn't it? And then this answer comes the next stanza here, 33. If that the case, then Senchen Chanta Yela Turindu, Devara Shigji, Devara Name, Yela Samba Tada Zojepa, Tadu Jimba Tashigmechigu. If that the case, then what long bestow on countless multitudes? The peerless joy of blissful Buddhahood. The thing is the Buddhahood, not the limitation food. Just fulfill your stomach. Just fulfill your stomach. Thing is that. And the ultimate fulfillment of their hopes. The time is like a, what do you call a long, right? That who long bestow. The time is not just for half day, the long time. And the number is the count. Time and intention. Yes, intention. Intention is countless multitude, not just one intention to fulfill your stomach. Right? His intention is to fill your stomach is the one thing. In addition, he have also many different intentions for you to have a happy end. Ultimately, that person is trying to lead you to enlightenment, Buddhahood. The person who have bodhicitta, right? Person who have bodhicitta. This is now talking based on a person who have bodhicitta. And the peerless joy of blissful Buddhahood. This is the ultimate things he is trying to provide us. He is trying to give us. And the intention wise is the ultimate fulfillment of their hopes. Not just temporarily hope, temporarily their expectation. Right? Do you understand? You are getting it how this 32 stanzas answer given by 33 stanzas? You understand? Now from here, after understanding the value of that person, or the kind of like a, is it right words to use, the value of that person? These are Shanti Devas providing us to understand how much is worthwhile of that person who have this bodhisattva, comparing with that tiny bit having good intention person, like a small donors, how we appreciate. And then how we appreciate with the persons who we ask and who we pay, but still how we appreciating them. If that is appreciable, then it goes without saying the person who is trying to help you without any kind of like that, without any hope from you, any return from you, one thing. And on the other hand, he is using this example, even a small donors who can help you to fulfill your stomach for half day, and he is giving you this food with the what? With the content. Still, we appreciate that person, isn't it? If that's the case, then someone else who is trying to provide you even more than him, time-wise, think-wise, and intention is not, and the way of providing all these facilities to you is not with the content, right? Not with the content. And we don't have to speak about it. It becomes much more appreciable if that small donor becomes appreciable person, isn't it? This is common sense. He is using here common sense to understand us this value of that person who have bodhisattva within themselves. And then from from here, he is introducing to the persons that therefore this person is very much valuable person. Therefore, from your side, whatever connection, either good or bad, therefore, from your side, whatever connection, either good or bad, it also multiplied. So therefore, he is warning us here now. He is kind of warning us that how he is warning us here. See, now, kalbe nyensen ke ba cheba de, nyensen ke bi chanshi kalba de, nyalwa never do beso. This stanza is now he's warning us that if there is some person like that who have a bodhisattva, then if you committed some connection, some action related with that person, if that action is bad, and that bad action, one bad action will cause you great result. And how it here I translated. Where is it? So after harbor evil in their minds against such lords of generosity, who is the person who have this type, the bodhisattva, the person who have the bodhisattva. That's what it's calling, such lords of generosity. The Buddha's heirs will stay in hell, the mighty sage has said, for age equal to the moment of their malice. Their malice? What is it? Malice. Their malice.
Bad thoughts.
Yeah, their malice.
You see, for age equal to the moment of their malice. Do you understand? This is not so hard to understand, right? This is easy to understand. Is it easy to understand?
Easy to understand.
Yes. And now another stanza giving advantage now. Introducing us the advantage of making good connection with that kind of person. On the other hand, people but joyous and devoted thoughts will wield abundant. This is not abandon, right?
No, not abandoned.
Abundant. Yes. Will wield abundant fruits in greater extent. Even in great trouble, bodhisattvas never bring forth wrong, their virtues naturally increase. Okay, so when the Kanshi Ira Kanjana Tejibu Devetava pelts, yeah, this first two line is how to say, explaining about making good connection with that type of person. What kind of advantage one could get it. First two lines explaining that. But joyous and devoted thoughts will wield abundant fruits in greater extent. That's it. And then next two line is talking about something different. Next two line is talking about even in great trouble, bodhisattvas never bring forth wrong, their virtues naturally increase. What do you understand? Wrong. Their virtues naturally increase. I should stop here, isn't it? Wrong. Never bring forth wrong.
So who is in great trouble?
Never bring forth wrong.
So who is in great trouble? Even in great trouble.
Yeah, bodhisattva. The bodhisattva. Even the bodhisattva, he or she is in great trouble, but still never bring forth wrong. Not just never bring forth wrong, but also their virtues naturally increased. They still want to try to increase from those moments as well. So let me tell you, these two, Shantideva introduced these two things right here. These two things, that advantage and disadvantage to connecting with the persons who have a bodhicitta, right? Those bodhisattvas, let's say, making connection with the bodhisattvas, negative connection and positive connection. Kind of like that. Negative connection, he's warning us, he's letting us know that you better to not make negative connection with the bodhisattvas. If you, and this is taking quotation from what Shakyamuni Buddha said in the sutra. And let me tell you how Shakyamuni Buddha said in the sutra. That Shakyamuni Buddha said in sutra that this is Manjushri Bodhisattvas calling his name Jambal, right? Jambal is Manjushri. Jambal, Changchu Semba la Hong Chuana, Nibi, Sem Chizamba, Yenji, Kalbar Simjin, Sem Changchu Semba la Hong Chuana, Nibi, Sem Chizamba, Yenji, Kalbar Simjin, Nyalvar never, Ochako Shaos. That's it. Very small, short. Yeah, Shakyamuni Buddha made it. Shakyamuni Buddha teaching this to the jungle, starting from him. There's many other disciples as well, but he is calling the Manjushri Bodhisattva's name, Manjushri. If some bodhisattvas get anger to some other bodhisattvas, okay, get and looking down, right, looking down to that other bodhisattvas with the angry intention, with the hated intention. Maybe same Chitsamba. How long, how kind of like how many moments that other bodhisattva kept that intention towards that bodhisattva, equal to that moment. That moment is multiplied to the eons for him to stay in hell. That is exactly that. Shantideva, he didn't put it, that's exactly meaning of this. Shantideva said it equal to the eon. That moment is multiplying to the equal to the eon. It becomes, that action becomes for that person's to, that action is become the cause for that person's to stay in a hell and suffer by hell that long time. With this understanding, what we really have to take from this teaching is try one best to not do it. He is not giving these instructions to us to give up. Even you give up, and if you give up, if you don't have bodhisattvas, kind of like this kind of method with you, then we already gone before, right? We already gone before. What we gone before? Without bodhicitta, those normal, ordinary merit is like a banana tree. And those merits will not gonna replace your non-virtuous, what you are doing every day. Isn't it? So in order to replace them, and that single moment of being able to raise bodhicitta within oneself will replace all of them. Now think from advantage as well. This instruction teaching is telling us, so we know what we should avoid. It is not because he's saying to discourage us. He's saying this so we know what should we try to avoid. Right? So therefore, as I said earlier, and these are very brutally honest. They don't make you kind of like they don't, I would say, cover all these unnecessary things. They will peel up all, show you exactly what it is. They don't make up this thing. And on the other hand, now we also look the advantage part too, not just look the disadvantage. An advantage part, that's as he's saying, but the person with the admiring, with the good intention to relate it, do it some action related with that bodhisattvas, the consequences of that is even much more greater than the before, than the disadvantaged one. Shantideva just said that. And let me give you how it's said, detailed by Shakyamuni Buddha. Then Shakyamuni Buddha, he said in this sutra that, again answering to the Manjushri Bodhisattva. And Manjushri Bodhisattva, Shakyamuni Buddha trying to let them understand the action which is related, and he's trying to introduce this, how much it will multiply. Here is calling jumble again. Yon sutakwa sunes. Now you imagine. Okay, now you imagine. He's saying, imagine if in this all 10 direction, chokchu jigdenji kam cheji, senjenji mikchuma yulas, someone take off all the 10 directions beings, take off their eye, take off their eye. Okay? Shakyamuni Buddha letting him imagine now, letting him imagine to how it is, how that action related with the Bodhisattvas. He is letting him imagine that if all the 10 directions beings, somebody taking off all of their eye, okay, taking off all of their eye. Now if they make blind, right? And continuously Shakyamuni Buddha saying, Yongsutta Vasungde, continuous imagine. Now continuous imagine. Ridipomo, either male or female, whoever, Kang Lale, Senjen Tada Kamjela, that all of those 10 direction beings who are already lost their eye, Shangvi Senji, with the kind mind, if they give their eye back, all of those person, whoever lost their eye, right? All over the 10 directions. And now here saying, how much, what do you think the person who is giving back all their eye, that action is worthwhile? Right? The action of giving back their eye, right? They are all blind, right? If they give back their eye, give back does not mean they take before. No. Somebody took it, okay? Now some other giving is this. Some other giving it that to all the eye, to all those 10 directions beings. And now, what do you think the action which they did is how much worthwhile? We can imagine the merit of that action, isn't it? And Shakyamuni Buddha continues answering to the Manjushri Bodhisattvas, saying, even much more than that, either male or female, whoever, the person who is entered into the Mahayana path and have with the Bodhicitta, what do you call it? How can I say here? Either male or female. Okay, that's it. Either male or female, whoever. With the inclination towards Mahayana path. And because, as I said, with the inclination towards Mahayana path and towards Bodhisattva, that Bodhisattva, with the watching to that Bodhisattvas with the faith, okay, with the faith. Now comparing these two actions, this is the actions. The person who looked to the Bodhisattvas with the faith, that action, and the other action that person who provided all the 10 direction beings give their eye back. Give their eye. These two actions now Shakyamuni Buddha comparing. So the action, somebody who just watched to the bodhisattvas with the faith, that action will accumulate the much more greater amount than the person who did it, who gave the eye to all of those beings. That's how this is what Shantideva he said. But somebody with the admiration, with the kind mind, do some action related, how it becomes much greater than before, and Shakyamuni Buddha clear mention in that sutta. How it becomes greater than before. Before means before making bad connection with the bodhisattvas, that action how much multiplying becomes cause to be born in a hell, right? That's what it's saying. Hell. And now again, this two stanza is just talking about bodhisattvas, his own qualities, personal qualities, right? Even though great trouble, bodhisattva will never give up, right? Never bring forth wrong. Even they will gonna increase their virtues more. Even with the trouble. Without trouble, absolutely it goes without saying. Even with the trouble, they won't give up engaging into virtuous action. That's what it means. So therefore here, the last stanza, now he is praising the bodhisattvas and completing this chapter. Kala senji tamba renchen keba te kula chansa lu kala neba che jan dejema devi junen de la kyapsu chi. Kyapsu chi, you may know that word, kyapsu chi. Now Shantideva himself taking refuge under those bodhisattvas. So therefore, after understanding all those work, all those value, and he's praising the bodhisattvas, even just bodhisattvas, their body he's praising. There it's saying, to them in whom this precious jewel of mind is born, to them I go. I go for refuge to those springs of happiness who bring their very enemies to perfect bliss. You see, this is also another secret. Before Shantideva said, if you make bad connection, then that bad connection will multiply it for you to undergo the great suffering in hell, right? But now here, what he is saying, I go for refuge to those springs of happiness who bring their very enemies to perfect bliss. This is what we believing is that making connection towards bodhisattva, it's very important, either bad or good. Then the not making connection at all. Making connection with the bodhisattva, even in a bad way, it's good than the not making connection at all. You understand, right? How he is saying here, this last, how he is praising bodhisattvas and how he is himself going refuge. why he is going refuge to those bodhisattvas, even their body. And he's saying, because of that body, even beings connected with this body in a bad way, beings connected with this body in a bad way, that bad connection will definitely give a bliss to them in return. Therefore, I take refuge towards that bodhisattvas. And on the other hand, I would also like to tell you this, that on the other hand, I would also like to tell you this, that it's saying this secret of the person who is being able to produce relic after they are passed away is the Bodhisattva. Bodhisattva, if you practice Bodhicitta very proper way, pure way, you will be able to produce relic after you pass away. That's the secret. If you want to produce relic after you pass away now, this is what it is. This is the cause. Why those great masters producing relic? Because they practice this Bodhicitta. This is one reason. And relic also has a many different levels, right? But the normal relic which we getting, this white one, Bodhicitta, that mind, you see that Bodhicitta, that mind, how make this normal ordinary flesh make draw. That Shantideva already said before, right? He gave example with the super substance, alchemist analogy, right? Example, super substance, alchemist. We talked before, do you remember? Alchemist, super substance. Bodhicitta is like a super substance which can alchemist, right? Which can transform or alchemist all this our ordinary flesh. When it transforms to the Buddha body, then relics is small, isn't it? Relics is nothing then. Then you can produce relic now. Now you have the key to how to produce relic, okay? Try your best to produce relic when you passed away. I will try my best too. I'm working on it. You also work. We work together. This is actually Shantideva not giving that teaching, okay? I am just giving on the side. Okay, so with that now we complete this first chapter. Now I hope we everybody understand in deep down that this is it. I have to have. Keep it that, even though I said earlier, even though you are not being able to do it right now, but deep down inside, you keep it this. Right after he provide all those with the reason how it is worthwhile, how it is important. Okay, so if you have question, we can discuss. If not, then yeah.
So I was thinking about this stanza. 34, 5,
34 and 5.
35. So, I'm just thinking the causes and conditions can produce effects. Let's say two people ask a bodhisattva for something, and you give to A, but didn't give to B. So the condition makes A to raise faith, but the other one, the ordinary person, maybe he get upset, will get mad. Then it's unfair. Then B will go to the hell to suffer, whereas the other one accumulates numerous merits. How is that fair? But the
No, I don't
conditions
understand. Say it again. Okay, A and B.
Yeah.
Okay, A and B both consult to bodhisattvas. Let's say.
Not
Right.
consult. Let's say just ask for something really.
Yeah, consult, visit, consult. Is it consult? Yeah, visit and request. Okay. And then
Same condition, let's say.
same condition means you raise two questions, same two questions,
Not question. Let's say ask for something.
same request,
Maybe they really need it.
same request.
Yeah.
You mean
Yeah.
you both of you made the same request.
Let's say.
Okay.
And A get it,
Uh-huh.
and B doesn't get it.
Mhm.
So the same.
A get it, B doesn't get it. That is possible, but bodhisattvas, you mean get it does not mean that bodhisattva give it to one and not give it to other.
Let's say.
Then that's not bodhisattva. Then you don't have to worry about it. If the person is bodhisattva, he or she will give to both, because since you both asking one request.
But she only have the available resources for one.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
because sometimes the bodhisattva
Uh-huh.
give the whatever the request to both of them, but one cannot receive because
That's their problem. That's not his problem. That's not his or her problem. He gifted both. You cannot complain like just like as we say, we're using this normal example like to the sun, right? Sun or rain. If you are not coming out, you won't get, even though he gave. But he is giving to the same. Sun is giving shine to everyone.
Or let's say maybe just by chance he heard A's request, but just by chance didn't hear B's request.
Okay.
So the condition makes B upset and angry, whereas A, the condition makes him raise faith.
Mhm.
But so I'm thinking really these conditions make people have different reactions towards bodhisattva.
Yes,
And it
yes.
seems really unfortunate for B.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So they have to understand the stanza number 34, isn't it? Stanza number 34. It explains 34. It is instructing you, or you can say it is warning. It is warning you that never try to make that connection with bodhisattvas. It's alert. What do you call it? Alert, isn't it? This is the alert. Alert. Yeah. Alert. Yeah. If this instruction doesn't giving alert, then yes, the instruction is problem, right? But the instruction already gave alert. Try your best to not make that connection with those bodhisattvas.
I get it, but maybe A's equally can get mad, but just because of the conditions are different and they get different results, the next life is different. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, that is also, yes, this is because of you have also some responsibility there, right? The B, okay, not you. B have responsibility to take care of B himself.
But so hard, but
No, it is not saying it is hard. It is not saying it is hard. Since it gives all the instruction, right? Warning or the alert, be himself.
but so hard, but
No, it is not saying it is hard. It is not saying it is hard. Since it gives all the instruction, right? Warning or the alert, is this instruction already giving alert, right? And now at that moment, okay, at that moment when the bee not getting it, right, not getting it from those bodhisattvas, okay, at that time, yes, normal people raise that kind of unfair sense or the how to say, get mad on that bodhisattvas. It could be, right? But at that time, now you really have tools. So now this stanza number 34 meaning, you have to remember. Remember that immediately. Okay, I should stop raising this kind of bad thoughts towards him.
But why
Better.
doesn't A have to go through it?
Huh?
Why doesn't A have to come out to go through it? Maybe A is equally can get mad. If
Yes, yes.
he's-
If A is getting mad equally, then A's problem.
I mean, he has equal tendency to get mad, but the situation is that he requests and he get it.
Uh-huh.
So he
So he doesn't
have to-
get mad.
And he doesn't have to raise.
He doesn't
Let's
have
say
to
that's
raise.
A and B's only
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah. But however, this instruction is useful for that moment for the B. Yes, now this is the instruction. B has to apply.
And yeah, I guess my question is more that why they have to go through, maybe they have different karma, why would they encounter different conditions?
Could be, yeah, that could be, yes.
That just
Because that
seems
could be
very
because
unfair to me.
Shakyamuni Buddha is giving one teaching and different people's hearing different. Right? Why? Because of that make different by their karma. Right?
No, it's really unfortunate.
Huh? Yes, B is little unfortunate compared with the A. Then, but B have that potential or capability to make even greater than A. Why not? So make it. You have all tools to raise those bodhisattva and make more fortunate B himself. We all also provided those ways how to increase, improve the fortunate as well. Not just leave it there without any idea. Right? All the idea is provided. Now you need to take it. B has to take it.
But he doesn't have to, like, the condition to raise that faith, let's say. Then how does he later on
The
try
condition already you have condition here. Understanding this instruction is condition. The condition is already there. Now you use or not. Now B wanna utilize that conditions or not. Before understanding this instruction, then B might can say, oh, because there's no any conditions for me to not raise mad on that bodhisattvas. But now, no, you have condition already. We have condition already.
how does he raise faith towards Bodhisattva?
Huh? How does B raise
Yeah. Faith.
faith to
Let's say now
Bodhisattva?
he wants to change, but the fact is that whatever he encountered doesn't satisfy him. Maybe it's his fault, but now he wants to change his mind. But how? The
Yeah,
conditions-
how? By focusing on all this quality. That he said it, right? If you make connection with the Bodhisattvas in a good way, and what you can get more than making bad connection and getting the result, much more. And remembering those and helps you have a
challenge could be
challenge. Yeah, it is challenge. I'm not saying it is not challenge. It is very easy. It is not very easy. But this is what we should try. Right? That's why I'm always saying the challenge something beneficial, essential. Take it that challenge rather than the challenge taking essenceless, unbeneficial challenge. Either way, we are in challenge. As long as we are in this samsara, we are in challenge. We are in challenge. We need to challenge. No matter where you go, no matter with whom, you are in challenge. Now you have to decide that challenge which has an essence, or whether you want to take it that challenge with which essenceless challenge. Either way, we are in challenge.
And I also want to clarify something.
Mhm.
And you say if you apply stanza 35,
Mhm.
it can remove 34.
Mhm.
You mean, like, let's say you have 1 year of madness to
Yeah,
attention towards
yeah,
bodhisattva,
Yeah,
and 35, you have to have 1 year of admiration to.
less than 1 year because it multiplies more than that. Right? If you equal, which means you still left some depth. Depth. Debit. Depth. Yeah. If you make a bad connection 1 year with Bodhisattva, and later part you make a good connection with the Bodhisattva 1 year. Okay? Same 1 year, it replaced all of them 100%. Not just replace, still you have some depth. Because it is more powerful than the other one. It's already said, right?
You have surplus.
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 What?
Surplus.
Yeah, that's
Interest.
not
You know,
interest, surplus. Maybe. What is that? I don't know, but it seems good.
You have more.
More.
All benefit.
That-
You have more benefit.
Mhm.
The loan, but besides the loan, original loan, you still have the interest of the
No
loan.
interest here. Just
No, I think he means.
This is not interest. This is not
It's
for
not interest. It's you have more.
you have more. You have more by action itself.
Saying,
Yeah, you have more by action itself.
You pay the debt and you
Pay the
have
debt,
more
but
on
you still
top.
have to
Mhm.
pay
And you have more on top, right?
the interest of the loan.
No. It's not interest.
It's not interest. No.
Interest. You don't have to pay more.
It's not interest. No.
Interest. You don't have to pay more.
Okay. So you do 1 year bad to a bodhisattva. You do 1 year good to a bodhisattva. So it doesn't. It's not balanced because the bad is still there, right?
That 1 year,
You do 1 year good to a bodhisattva. So it doesn't. It's not balanced because the bad is still there, right?
that 1 year and good 1 year is balanced, right?
Balanced.
It's
But you
equal,
still
right?
have all the bad, right? You still
No, that. Still you have good
more good.
uh,
More good.
Yeah.
Also surplus there.
surplus. Yeah, surplus.
Does it mean you still have to go through the bad karma results?
Absolutely.
You
Yes.
will still have to go.
Unless if you don't confess. Confess. It will postpone it.
So whatever.
When
you
it becomes stronger,
the
it will postpone all of them. Which gives you a more chance to confess, which give you a more time to get rid of this. Until you confess, it will gonna remain, yes. But generating bodhicitta itself is the one way of confessing your state. As before, we gone through using the Shantideva was using analogy of the what do you call it? Those end of the time fire, right? You remember that? End of the time fire. How it burns, even though it is much greater.
Any negative karma? Any
Yes, it has that potential.
Any
Yes, it has that potential. This is the one very kind of like we can call secret, but actually it is not secret, as I told you already. They are not keeping secret that they are going, flourishing, trying to talking that to everybody. What word is better to use here rather than secret? Some invisible importance. Is it?
Hidden.
Hidden, huh?
Treasure.
Hidden treasure. It is a hidden treasure. It is hidden treasure. But they are not, itself is hidden, right? Itself is hidden because it is sense, which doesn't have a form, which doesn't have a visible, which is not invisible. Okay. Yeah.
Now follow CG question.
Uh-huh.
If we have the thought, have the idea, or have the feeling, towards that
Bodhisattva.
Bodhisattva, just in thought, in her thought, in be thought, badly, that we create negative karma.
Yeah. Yes. Mental action is complete there. Not physical yet.
The whole foundation of the film.
No, but still that mental action is there. Now yes.
But then it's not fair because anybody who is there, people could like you, could dislike you. If it's like you're Bodhisattva, people dislike you, and then people have to have that confidence. It's not fair. Even if
And
it's a song,
okay,
somebody
if it
doesn't
is
like the song,
you
it shouldn't be the
you-
person's fault.
you
if
s-
somebody doesn't like the song.
yeah, you say this is unfair, but you're not saying this is unfair when you talk from advantage.
It's still unfair.
Okay, good. Then it is good. Okay.
People who don't like song, you don't have to like the song in order to get married.
Yes.
People who
You don't-
like the
you
song
don't have
didn't do anything wrong. It just doesn't like the song. What's wrong with the person?
Yeah, it's up to you. Yes.
Then why you have to have
That's
consequence? Some
what-
people
yeah,
doesn't
that's-
like the song.
The action itself has thus naturally
Some
consequences.
animals doesn't like the song, but the animal doesn't do anything.
But action doesn't hate action. See that hate, right?
Because
Hate,
the song might hurt them.
hate. Yeah, absolutely. Hate is not good. Hate.
Now let's say don't hate too much. Let's say don't like.
Mhm.
Just like,
This is just okay. That we don't like that idea.
Then that's free. That's it. No problem.
Yeah, it's not
Here,
hate.
Shantideva is talking about the hate. If you raise hate, then that becomes your mental bad action. Then it can give you the consequences. But since if you are neutral, no problem. No problem. You don't have to worry. You don't like, you dislike, right? Okay, what can you say? You rather like or dislike. Okay? You understand? You rather like that person or dislike that person. That person, Bodhisattva, is just like a nobody, just like a street person. Then you have no problem. Who say that problem? There's no problem.
Now, okay. The reason why I raised that question because I learned that 2 days ago from Minju. And that's in house and people they raise the question
Mhm.
how we can practice compassion,
Mhm.
loving compassion.
Mhm.
And one man say, now if how we know that this awareness is now the feeling of the feeling of emotion, bad emotion, and after that we put that bad emotion in action. Okay, two. Okay, when you generate the feeling of bad emotion, after that you put that bad emotion into action.
Action.
Okay, now to put that bad emotion into action.
Action.
Okay, now to phrase it.
Two
Phrase it.
Two moments.
Yeah. Now, which one which one is create karma, which one is not creating karma, or bad karma, or secret karma.
Both create karma. Yes, both create karma. If you just raising question, karma, then yes, both create karma.
Okay, but that's, if you didn't say that, maybe that night, no, not many people know about karma. Maybe you didn't want to answer that question too much. You don't answer that deep enough. Karma. But he said, as long as you know in your mind, raising the feeling of bad emotion, you don't put that bad emotion in action, you still good person. You still good. You still good.
Yes, you are still good.
You still good.
You are still good compared with the person who put into action.
So sánh với cái người mà
Yes, you are still good.
không làm việc tốt
You are still good compared with the person who put it into action.
so với cái người mà làm
Good and bad is comparative.
Yeah,
cái tầm
last night he stopped when you realize the raising feeling bad emotion raising up, and you stop right there.
That's good.
That's
Yes,
it.
yes, it's good.
Okay, but not put it in action.
Absolutely, it's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is good. Then the putting into action. Then you can say it is good.
But that is still create that
Karma.
karma.
Yes.
I gotta ask him again about that.
Because this is no, because this is harmful thought.
You have to talk. We know that.
Among the 10
Yeah,
non-virtuous
yeah,
actions.
we know that. But he said that emotion, right?
Yeah.
The how because we
Yeah.
yeah, that's true. That in your thought you have to create karma.
Yes.
You mentioned earlier that it is better to create a connection with the bodhisattvas than any connection is better than.
Neutral. Not making any connection. It's better than not making any
But is
connection.
it better to make a negative connection? But wouldn't it be better to not have the negative?
Yes, that's why Shantideva was saying making bad connection. Okay, here he does not mean that making connection with the bodhisattva bad is good. He's not saying that. Okay? First he defined it, right? Good connection and bad connection, what consequences you will gonna get it. And at the end, what you're saying is still comparing with the not making any connection and the bad connection is good.
Why is that? How can that be?
Still you have some connection with that
because
person.
finally he will bring the last sentence say he will bring his enemies to enlighten, right? The last sentence.
Because that connection,
He will bring enemies.
that connection will let that person to owe something to him later. And that person will gonna owe that karma. And when that he owing, then from there there's a chances to convince, then go.
So even with the negative,
If there's a no any connection at all, then there's a no way that he can reach to that him. Because that other person doesn't have any owe to the him or her. So that person will never come to him on whole. Right?
okay.
And he or the bodhisattva doesn't get any chances to convince. Isn't it interesting now?
So even a negative connection plants a seed. Okay. There we go.
No. I have time. Yeah. Meeting, not teaching. Meeting and teaching is two different. Yeah.
Action.
Chị nghe em có câu hỏi như này á. Beginning you mentioned that the person who really want drama. But because I met one man yesterday, 2 years ago, I met him with his body very strong. But yesterday I met him, the way he was talking to me, he go wrong with. And from that moment, I feel sorry with him. Between his knowledge, like a wall, he keep that way he practicing, but with that he did not. He don't get the fortune to meet the good teacher, to lead on the right path. So I feel one way I feel a good teacher, to lead on the right path. So I feel one way I feel sorry to him that I can help him go right. I know what I share, he can see that. So on that way, on that story still in my mind today. So you mentioned at the beginning that we don't have the right fortune to teacher to guide the right path. So on that situation, what do you do? To help me to go on the right path.
And that situation, then what he needs to do. If he doesn't have any connection with the right guidance, doing some, okay, this is like that. Doing some positive actions and then making aspirations, and aspirations doesn't have a limit. You can make any kind of aspirations from there. You understand? Therefore, in the end of our prayer, we always make that dedication after we've done some positive actions. Like say, after we've done that action, right? And after we done that, and then at the end we make these aspirations. Right? At the end, we make life after life, always life after life. May I encounter with the authentic masters, which means guidance, right? Authentic guidance. And without separating myself from the Dharma, may I be able to achieve those path of rooms and ultimate Vajradhara stage. That we always make them aspirations at the end. That way, he can make it with any kind of positive actions. He can in any way, right? There's a many way. You can done positive action by landing. You can done positive action by offering flower, circumambulation, recite mantra, meditation. Many ways to engage oneself into positive actions. Right? After you make that positive actions, and you can make it that aspirations. May this my positive merit, positive actions merit, becomes cause for me to encounter with pure guidance, perfect guidance. That way he can make it. We're going to meet it later. That's how. This is what you need to do it. If you wish to encounter with the right guidance. Right. We go. Okay, so I'm dedicated. Sunam de Amje Zibani, Domini, Janam Amji, Shiga Nanji, Balam Chumai, Sibi, Awan Shu, Jambal Balu, Jidare Kembana, Undo Sambu, Dean Dejin, Deda Kundi, Jesu Kalorji, Gewan Deda, 我给我的修跟神农一些操作呢，神农一给我的修跟神农一些操作呢，神农一些来从当巴库尼可巴说，上节库苏尼贝请郎的，去年面对的贝请，明年面接的贝请郎的，这当我慢慢可巴说。Written in English note. By this beneficial activity, may I obtain remission, and having vanquished the harmful enemies, greed, anger, delusion, may I liberate all being tossed about helplessly by the waves of birth, aging, illness, and death in the ocean of becoming. By the conforming to the knowledge of courage and Rishi, Jambalyam, and in the same way as Samendravatra, Kundu Sambhu, and following their example, I dedicate perfectly all this virtue. By this virtue, may all beings perfectly achieve the accumulation of merit, swanam, and wisdom, Isha. And may they thereafter obtain the two holy bodies which result from these two accumulations. By the blessing of the Buddha and Sangha, who obtained the three bodies, by the blessing of the immutable truth of the Dharma training, by the blessing of the infallible inspiration of the Sangha, may this prayer of dedication be accomplished just as it is. What is that? Infallible?
Infallible.
Huh?
Cannot fail.
Cannot fail.